What's up, guys? It is Thursday, April 24th, 2025. We're at the Bitcoin block height of 893,809. TikTok, next block. I'm down here in the jungle, guys. I'm on Fremont Street in between 15th and 14th Street. And there's a chicken place I like here. It's called what is it? Yeah, You Buy, We Fry. And it's really, really good. Not the best neighborhood, but it's really, really good. Hope you guys are doing well. I just wanted to get in contact with you today before the live. It is hot today in Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm on the famous, like I said, Fremont Street. The better area is down there, that way. That's where, Fremont Experience is and stuff like that. I'm gonna walk that way a little bit. I got about a 20 minute wait for my food. So I figured, hey, why not? Let's talk to my boys and girls. My Bitcoin is for Freedom family. And speaking of that, my live today is at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So please make sure you join the live, because we're going to talk a lot about adoption today. That's the basis of the video, and why and how we need to get as many Bitcoiners with the green lights on as we can into the system, and also here in America. But yeah, man, it's a lot of news going on. Obviously, we got the 21 or XXI situation with Jack Mallers. Doing some research on that. I plan on buying some. I haven't bought any yet, but me and the family have been talking about that. And again, I'll talk a little bit more about that, because I'm gonna react to a few videos today about that. But not financial advice, but my main course of action, again, I only can tell you what I do, is I try to get as many Satoshis as I can, as far as in my savings. And then investments, right? In an investment portfolio, I'll focus on, Bitcoin only companies or Bitcoin backed companies. I like Tesla because it's cheap right now, and I like the company structure. Plus, even if they didn't have any Bitcoin, honestly, I probably would buy some. But because it's also backed by Bitcoin, they got over 11,000 of them. And again, I love what Elon Musk is doing. Just an incredible human being, in my personal opinion. I think it's a great company, because again, Tesla's like 6 companies in one. It really is. Then obviously you got Strategy, and then GME getting ready to buy something, a bunch of Bitcoin, and then obviously XXI. But being down here on Fremont, and this motel place is pretty much wrecked. This one is pretty much wrecked, tore down. This area used to be alive and popping, but unfortunately, with our broken dollar situation, I'm noticing a lot more businesses being wrecked, houses being emptied, a lot more homeless people on the streets, and I see a couple of big businesses closed down around my area. Walgreens, a few of them have shut down. Again, a lot of it's because of soft on crime policies, letting people steal and stuff like that. I get that part. But the reason why people are out here homeless and almost homeless is for one reason, and one reason only, is because the money is broken. It just is. And unfortunately, our grandparents had to work a lot less harder than we do now. And it's a shame. It's a shame. And this is why I get up every single day and do what I do, because people have no idea what the problem is. And it's unfortunate. Everybody was lied to. Again, I'm a 50-year-old man, and I didn't find out about this until I was 45 years old. And I was a guy who was in quote-unquote finance for a long time. And I've studied money even outside of my college years. I started going to college, and I had a couple stints. I had someone in my 30s and then in my 40s. And I studied money. thought I was studying money. Then come to find out, the money that I thought was real was all fake. And if I got fooled, and again, I'm not smarter than anybody, but if I got fooled, then a lot of people will get fooled. And this is why I tell people there's a difference, because I've always struggled in schools, any kind of school, whether it was seriously preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school, any kind of college class. I've always struggled with those, because there's a difference between book smart, and I don't want to say street smart, but maybe common sense. Book smart and common sense, or book sense and common sense maybe. And unfortunately, today's society, it's more about indoctrination than it is education. And if you're quote unquote book smart or smart in school, well, they call you smart, that means you're just a good boy or girl, and you're going to listen to what they say within their system. Here's another hotel, just completely shut down. Every single one of these I've walked by so far have been shut down. And when you're quote unquote book smart or whatever, you know, I used to think that. I used to think in school that I was inferior to everyone else. And again, I'm not saying I'm better than the people that are in school. I just know now that I'm operating from outside of that system, that indoctrinating system. You know, they know exactly what they're doing when they're teaching these kids what they're teaching them. And also they know that the money, or the money that they teach us as money, is broken. They know that, but they never have told us that. And why? Why don't they tell us that? Why don't they tell us that real money was gold for 5,000 years, and the US dollar that is supposedly our money, it was only money because it was backed by gold? Why do they never tell us that? Right? Well, the reason they won't tell us that is because they know that the jig is up. Here goes another one. This is empty too. Wow, man. All on this side of the street, it's all empty. They never told us any of this stuff. All we knew was inflation was a thing when prices go up, but it didn't matter because you're getting a raise, right? That's what I used to think. I said, well, shit, I'm getting a raise. And you don't know the slow burn that they put you in, as far as that being a frog in the pot, if you will, the boiling water that they slowly cook you. But ever since the scamdemic of 2020, they started turning up the heat. Because in my personal opinion, my opinion, YouTube, is that Trump being in office from 2016 to 2020 really foiled their plans. That's why they fought against him so hard. And again, Trump wasn't perfect, but he definitely wasn't the system. He wasn't plugged into their system. And again, this is not a Republican or Democrat thing. George Bush was plugged into that system. Believe me. Remember the weapons of mass destruction? He's a Republican, warmonger. I think the last president before Trump that wasn't part of that system was the great Ronald Reagan. I didn't like him either. You know, and before that it was JFK and obviously Abraham Lincoln and a few in between there. But for the most part, most of these politicians or these presidents are plugged into the system, and they're just robots and prostitutes, you know. And this system is just so crooked and broken. And people out here, I'm looking at hundreds of people every day. I go outside and I walk amongst the people, and these people just don't have a clue, man. And again, I was one of them. I was one of those sheeple, or what I call NPCs, non-playable character, NPC. When you walk and you're playing a video game, whether it's Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto, I say Game of Thrones, Grand Theft Auto, whatever kind of video game you're playing, and you're the main character, but everybody else is just like a robot or a zombie. They have no idea what's going on. That's most people. And the troll, he came on the live yesterday, the troll 683, and asked me about Shannon Sharp. I don't give two you-know-whats about Shannon Sharp. And anybody that talks about that kind of stuff, even if it's you, I mean, think about it. You're talking about a guy who, or anybody, any kind of celebrity, right? Just think about this. When you're spending time and worrying about what a celebrity or who they're sleeping with or what they're eating or what they're doing, and you're sitting here up here struggling and not knowing what's going on. Again, man, it's the bread and circus situation. They give us free bread, aka welfare, and free stuff. Again, nothing in life is free. We know that. And part of the circus is you watch these athletes or entertainers, singers, dancers, whatever. Look at this. You watch these people and what they're doing in their own personal lives is just like, who cares, man? Like I used to get caught up in that stuff, you know. But what does that have to do with your life, man? Nothing, you know. I said this on the live yesterday. Marcus Aurelius said it best. If anything outside of what you're doing, your main focus, the thing that you have a burning desire for, the thing that wakes you up every single day, the thing that you say, man, I got to do this every day, whatever that is, anything outside of that is a waste of fucking time. It is. And I could not agree more. Now, do I, mess around a little bit here and there and, yeah, I'll do it. I used to love the NBA, and every once in a while, like during the playoffs now, they put an NBA, they put the NBA games on now in like 8 or 9 minute clips, 10-minute clips. And I'll watch a little bit of that when all my work is done. But I'm not going to sit there and watch a game for 2.5 to 2 hours and 45 minutes and ingest all the commercials and everything and waste almost 3 hours of my day by watching some dudes run up and down the court. Again, I've done it. I did it for years, but I ain't going to do it no more. If you know more about LeBron James than you do know about who your local politicians are in your local area, on the state and federal level, and if you don't understand money and stuff like that, and you know that stuff more than you know more about LeBron and Tom Brady, whoever, than that, then you're lost. And I know everybody on this channel is not like that. So we have some work to do when it comes to the adoption phase of getting as many Bitcoiners as we can to get them to turn on that green light. Again, like George says. But that takes a long time. It took me a long time to turn on my green light, right? Even when I was into gold and silver and precious metals, it took me a few months to turn on the green light of, okay, I understand the problem. And I thought gold and silver were the solution. But then I had to take another few months to figure it out that gold and silver, even maybe a year or two, to figure out that gold and silver is great. But when it comes to Bitcoin, there is no second best. I got involved with the cryptos. I got involved with some of those projects and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it took me a while to understand that it's Bitcoin and Bitcoin only. And Bitcoiners and the Bitcoin adoption, we have a lot of work to do and a lot of battles to defeat in order to get this done. And think about your journey. Think about how long it took you to get it and understand it, right? It doesn't happen overnight, that's for sure. But the first thing we have to do is make sure people understand that there's a problem, right? That's the number one thing. I think that's the easiest thing to let, or to open people's minds up to know that there is a problem with inflation. That's what I always talk about. Look how much stuff costs, right? Now, they don't understand why it costs like that or what it is. But I don't know anyone, even a rich person, because everybody's on a different level. I don't even know a rich person or anyone, like I said, that doesn't understand, holy shit, this is a problem, right? I want to interview a couple of people on the street. I wish I could, but I don't really know these people and ask them what they know about Bitcoin. There's a lot of sketchy people down here, though. But anyways, so yeah. So again, it's an uphill battle, for sure. But it's a battle I'm willing to fight. And it's not just the battle for, okay, let's turn on their green light and figure out what the problem is with inflation. That's just part of the problem. Another part of the problem is, and this is the hardest part, I believe, is to get to people to not only understand that they were lied to, but to admit that they were lied to. And that is the hard part, right? Because nobody wants to admit that, oh my God, I've been lied to for however many years they've been on the earth, right? I'm a pretty proud guy, so when I started figuring this stuff out, I was like, wait a minute, I was a damn fool I saw it the whole time. I was right there. I was reading. You know, I was a guy into some stuff too, man. I was into, you know, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Think and Grow Rich and all that stuff. But it just didn't really click to me until, again, I was 45 years old in 2020, summer 2020. And that's embarrassing. And people don't want to be embarrassed or admit that they were wrong. So I don't know. How you doing, man? Good. Ma'am, can I ask you a question? You got a second? I'm making a YouTube video. Yeah. Can I ask you a quick question?
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Bitcoin?
Bitcoin, yeah.
You want to be on camera? Or are you shy? Come on, you can be on. You can be on. Okay, what's your name, ma'am?
Hope.
Hope?
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jerry. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Are you from Vegas?
I lived here for 2 months. I'm originally from Arizona.
Arizona. What brought you here?
Just trying to get a new start. My mom's out here and...
Good.
Yeah.
You like it?
Yeah, it's better than out there.
Okay, good. So, quick question: What do you know about Bitcoin?
Not too much. Just like cryptocurrency, you know, type thing.
Okay.
Never, yeah.
So, if I were to tell you, I'm going to give you some free Bitcoin right now, if you answer this question.
Okay.
You got to answer the question though. Okay. So, what is Bitcoin? Besides, I know it's a cryptocurrency and stuff like that. And you're on point there. But what else do you think it is? For some free Bitcoin, I'll probably give you some free anyways.
Well, the form of payment is what you change money through that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
Okay. Do you know what inflation is?
When rising cost.
Yes. Yep. Now, why is that? Do you know why the cost goes up?
Probably supply and demand or something like that.
That's
are using it or more usage. I don't know.
That's part of it. Okay, stay right here. I'm gonna finish this video up and I'm gonna give you some free Bitcoin. Okay? You got a second? You going anywhere?
No, I'm just walking forward.
Okay, stay right there. I'm coming right back. Okay. Not bad, right? So, anyways, let me give her some free sats and I'm gonna teach her some stuff and maybe I'll invite her on the live. And then when you guys see her on the live, and you'll know it's her. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, guys, we got to get out here and talk to these people, right? We do, and it's tough. You know, it's tough sometimes, and it's embarrassing. But some of us are shy. I'm not saying you got to walk up to people like me because I'm built that way. I was built for this, man. I was built for this. So, the system's broken. Obviously, we know that, and we got to fix it. We got to fix it. And how are we going to fix it? Is Doge going to fix it? No. Can we fix it within that broken system? No, we can't. There's only one way to fix it. You got to go outside of it, break it down, and start all over. And there's only one way to do that, guys. And if I had to take a guess, I'm pretty sure you guys already know what that is. It's the best way to save. And for me, the only way to save. And that's Bitcoin. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. See you on the live, guys. Peace and love, guys.